Salute omnes, this is I'm Amelia, also known as TheMartianGeek. We just sent Junkman to his own scrap heap, so with a burst of energy, let's go to Burstman stage. There he is. He's kinda weird looking, but whatever. Burstman stage is kinda weird. I'm not really sure what to call it as far as the theme goes. It's like the game's water stage, but at the same time it takes place in some sort of chemical laboratory. I think it's an abandoned medical lab, but I'm not sure. These are count bombs. They first appeared in Mega Man 6. When you step on the plunger there, or push it I guess, they'll start counting down, and after they get to 0, then they'll explode. They can have several different orientations, and all of the count bombs in this game have 3 units of time. In Mega Man 10 there were some that had 0 or 5, but they're all 3 here. Now here's something I like to have the rush jet for. You get a free extra life there. You may or may not be able to make that jump without the rush jet, but I don't think you can. And I'm not willing to risk it because going down this passage gives you another useful item. That was bad timing. Okay. Okay, so those guys can turn around. That enemy I can just ignore since he really poses no threat to me. And now we're in the water and we have mines. And of course spikes. Because when you're in a water stage in a Mega Man game, you gotta have spikes. And now we get another extra life. Because apparently Rush is immune to spikes. He doesn't even take damage, despite Mega Man instantly dying. You'd think Dr. Light would have built in a spike-proof thing for Mega Man as well, but apparently not. And now we have swimming Mets. They have little snorkels and flippers, and they still shoot at you. They're kind of a pain to hit. And of course, now that we're completely underwater, we have spikes on the ceiling. Like I said before, it just wouldn't be a water stage in a Mega Man game without spikes everywhere. And now time for the stage's sub-boss. I don't know what this thing's called, but it's a crab that shoots bubbles and pink blasts at you, and I'm apparently really bad at dodging said pink blasts. You want to be careful about when it rockets toward you, then you'll have to slide under it. And watch when it jumps back. It's not a very difficult sub-boss though, so... And now the water has apparently changed density and we can float in it. Float upward. And we still have mines and spikes to worry about. Also, it's purple. Kinda pretty. But what the heck are we swimming in? Do I want to know? You want to be careful about the timing with the rising and falling water. Yeah, Burstman stage is... It's Burstman stage. It's just kinda weird. Like I said. And speaking of Burstman stage, here's something we haven't seen yet this game, but we've seen him in plenty of other Mega Man games. Yep, this is the stage with the disappearing blocks. They're now bigger, and they use the sound effect for when they appear uses 2 sound channels instead of just 1, because this is a 16-bit game and you can get away with that. Now this one, slightly more complicated pattern, but nothing too threatening. The disappearing blocks in this stage are really pretty easy to deal with. Those things have been in every single Mega Man game, except 8. I do not know why Mega Man 8 didn't have disappearing blocks, but it just didn't. Just barely avoided that. I don't think the swimming Mets can swim too much when they're not in water. Nor can the fish. And now we have spikes made of apparently discarded hypodermic needles or something. Yeah, if Mega Man touches those spikes, he'll get AIDS and instantly die from it, apparently. So that's not a very nice way to go, now is it? There's the R icon. Pretty easy to get. It's not even out of the way. See, this is where you really want to watch the timing on the water, because if you drop down into it, and it's too low, you're likely to just plain hit the spikes. Meanwhile, you can't jump too high because more spikes. Certainly seen worse placement of spikes in water stages. Dang, I was trying to avoid that. don't feel safe getting across there right now. So let's wait for it. Yeah, Burstman stage requires some patience, certainly. It's not one of my favorite stages, but it's not that bad once you get the hang of it. But, anyway, now it's time for Burstman. His weapon is the Danger Wrap. He's not only the water boss, he's also the explosives boss. Explosive toting. And he's a good candidate for fighting with charged buster shots because it knocks him backward. Now this is his most threatening attack. He shoots those 3 bubbles with bombs in him. And you want to carefully jump between them. Because if the bubbles touch you, they can trap you in them, and then you have to frantically shoot your way out, or the bubbles will drag you right up into the spikes. Yeah, even in the boss room, they don't let up on the spikes. These bubbles aren't quite so bad. They just bounce you backward if you touch them. You can also make bubbles come up from the floor like that, but he doesn't seem to do that very often, especially if you keep charge-shotting him. You can destroy these bubbles, but they take like 10 shots apiece, so it's usually not worth it. By the time you've destroyed one, you've gotten caught by the second one. So, or the next one. Burstman actually has 2 weakness weapons. One of them we don't have access to at this point, but the other one is the Freeze Cracker. And the other one, oddly, his other weakness weapon does more damage, but it's a lot harder to hit him with it. I'll explain that later, in a later video. But the Freeze Cracker actually knocks him forward, if I remember correctly, so even in the rematch, you might just want to use charged buster shots. The biggest problem with this boss is if you mess up the timing on jumping over the Danger Wrap. You do that, and you're in trouble. Whoa. Oh yeah, those bubbles can haul you up into the spikes too, but they're not as much of a threat. Although they do move fairly quickly. And Burstman is down. I didn't die this time. That's always good. Oh yeah, if you're not using charged buster shots, then he'll eventually keep jumping closer and closer to you, and it'll be harder to dodge his attacks. And you can actually use the bubbles on the walls to bounce over him, if you want. The Danger Wrap fires out a bomb encased in a bubble, doesn't it? And Mega Man is brown. Yes, but it can also be used to encase other things besides bombs. And with that, we have the Danger Wrap. Like I said, you get Danger Wrap. What Dr. Light means by that is, if an enemy is small enough, then sometimes you can shoot a Danger Wrap at it, and it'll actually encase the enemy in the bubble, in addition to the bomb, and then you can make it blow up by detonating the bomb. Dr. Light, what do you think of Base? Well, now that we've defeated the first 4 Robot Masters, we have a cutscene. His actions don't seem to indicate a threat, aside from the fact that he shot at Mega Man. I don't believe he is our enemy. Yeah, you don't believe that now. Just wait. What is this? Wily is attacking the Robot Museum. You must leave now, Mega Man, for the halfway point stage. But that's for next time. Yeah, this is, you go right into this next stage, and I actually forgot about that. I should have just stopped at the password screen. Might as well test out the Danger Wrap. Takes 2 units of ammo and shoots out a bomb in a bubble, like he said. One thing Dr. Light didn't mention is if you hold down while you fire it off, you can drop just a bomb. Well, that's about it. There's nothing else to go back for in Burstman stage. We'll come back to this little midway stage in the next video. So, without further ado, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.